Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, so we are meeting after a good weekend. Hope you enjoyed your time. And now we are back with our studies. Right. So we were discussing on time of supply. We have completed time of supply. And today we'll be doing in value of supply. If there's any doubts on what we have discussed till now, could be time of supply or value of supply, you could raise your hands so that we could answer them. Notes will be updated. Okay, after today's class, I will upload time of supply and value of supply. You can refer that.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, I have a doubt from study material, sir. Sir,
Okay.
page number 6.44, test your knowledge question.
1 minute. Let me open that. Which question in that?
Sir, question number 5.
Kabir Industries.
Yes, sir, Kabira Industries.
Huh.
Sir, in that, sir, Kabira Industries is engaged in the services of transporter for a road transport of a consignment on 17 June. Sir, he has given an advance on 17 June. But, sir, due to certain circumstances, uh, the consignment was sent to him on 20th July and the invoice was raised on 22nd July. Sir, sir, it is a case of uh, like FCM, but sir, in the answer it is just written 17th June as a payment. No advance and no remaining balance has been bifurcated.
Yeah. So this is not a case of FCM. No, this is RCM
Sir,
because he's engaged a goods transport agency.
no, sir. Sir, the invoice was received from the transporter agency. The last line it is written.
Okay.
So, sir, if the invoice is given by the transportation agencies, then they are receiving the consideration with taxes. So, sir, goods transport agency were having the option of paying the tax on FCM as well. So, sir, both case scenarios would be correct, no?
No, they have not said invoices issued with GST because a transporter or any unregistered person, he will still issue a commercial invoice, right? So in this case, when they say invoice was received from the transporter on 22nd July, it
Yes, sir.
doesn't say that it was a tax invoice. They just said invoice, and they have neither said it's a GST invoice. So it's just a regular commercial invoice which is received.
So, sir, the question will specifically mention if it is a GST invoice.
Correct.
Okay, sir. But sir, he has given an advance, so the advance payment and remaining balance payment should be bifurcated.
But in RCM, had we seen the time of supply, it is date of payment or 61st day from the date of
Yes, sir.
issue of invoice, 60 days from the date of issue of invoice.
Yes, sir.
So payment was made when,
Sir, 17th June.
okay, engage the service, made advance payment for the transport on the same day. Okay. One month time of supply for RCM. Correct. So, which is the earliest one? 17 June or
17.
61 days from the invoice? So, 17 June is the earliest. The time of supply is 17 June.
So, sir, in RCM, no advance and other payment will be bifurcated.
Now, full, they've not told what is the value. So, they've said advance, which means it is full advance, right?
So, full payment has been done in advance.
Correct. Correct.
And in the case of advance and balance, they will specifically write it.
They will
Okay, sir.
specifically mention what is the value of advance given.
Okay, sir. Sir, I have one small question from supply, sir. Can I ask?
Yes.
Sir, in sir page 2.56 of study material,
Okay.
sir, para of liquidation damages in schedule 2.
Hmm.
Sir, there, sir, when usually the liquidation damages are not taxable if it is given in virtue of breach of contract. Correct,
Hmm.
sir?
Hmm.
Sir, but in case there is a pre-agreement for it, then also it will be not taxable.
Yeah, still it is a not, it is only in the compensatory nature, not in the nature of a supply.
But sir, in matlab in para 2.57, they have written a
Mhm.
contrary of it as well. Sir, I am not able to understand that contrary.
Okay. Yeah, so they've said that both the views are possible, saying that it may be treated as a supply as well. That's why there could be a contradiction there.
Yes, sir. Sir,
So in it
sir,
could
how,
have both the legs, yes.
sir, how to identify it, whether to include it in the value or not?
So what you will have to do is you have to see the facts, what is given. Does that facts actually mean that there is a supply or no? Right? They would have given, there is a circular also which is issued. Based on that circular, we can identify whether it should be treated as a supply or not supply.
Sir, with circular.
Uh, Probably after this class, I'll just share that circular number. You could refer that.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thanks. And section 15 2D example 8. Mahi, which example, which question is it? MCQ question? 15 2D question number 8. See 15 2. 15 2D में तो example 8 it is not there. In 15 2C you have example number 8. I cannot see any examples under 15 2D. Yes, okay, there is this example. Yeah, this is what is we were discussing. Okay, I will just share that so that we could have a recapitulation also, saying that what is the values which has to be included. So interest, late fees, or penalty for delayed payment should we include it in the value of supply? 15.2 says about all the additions, and it also says that yes, any interest, late fees, or penalty for delayed payment has to be included. So the value of a supply will include not only the base price but also include the charges for delay in payment. I've given an example. A supply which is priced at rupees 2000 is made with a credit period of 1 month for payment. So a supply is made wherein the customer has been told to make the payment within 1 month. Thereafter, interest at 12% per annum will be chargeable. The payment is received after a lapse of 2 months from the date of supply. The amount of interest at 12% per annum, which means monthly it is 1% per month on rupees 2000 for 1 month. After the credit period of 1 month, that is 20 rupees is charged. Such interest will be added to the value and the value of supply will work out to be 2020, assuming the interest to be exclusive of GST. So, what is the question here? दिस एग्जाम्पल इज सेइंग दैट ठीक है कि आपने सप्लाई किया है, सप्लाई करके अगर कस्टमर ने you have given him credit fee period of 1 month, saying that you don't have to make payment immediately, but you should make the payment within 1 month. Now the party has delayed by 2 months, received after a lapse of 2 months, which means you have received the payment after 2 months. 1 month is credit free. For the second month, you have to charge interest. You will charge at the rate of 1%, which is agreed. So you're charging on 2000, 1%, which is 20 rupees. That's it. Clear with this? इसमें 1 month is credit period and after 2 months from the date of supply is paid. So 1 month का installment लग गया है या 2 months का means 1 month credit period से charge लगा है या 2 months का? प्रीति आपका question clear नहीं है. Can you please unmute yourself?
गुड आफ्टरनून सर।
Yes, good afternoon.
सर इसमें लिखा है कि 1% पर मंथ ऑन 2000 फॉर 1 मंथ आफ्टर द फ्री क्रेडिट पीरियड। तो फ्री क्रेडिट पीरियड 1 मंथ है और उसके बाद 2 मंथ के बाद पेमेंट आया है। तो 1 मंथ जो क्रेडिट पीरियड है वो इंक्लूडेड है या फिर उसको मिला के फिर 2 मंथ्स का इंटरेस्ट लिया हुआ है?
देखिए उन्होंने कैसे लिखा है, उन्होंने लिखा है कि द पेमेंट इज रिसीव्ड आफ्टर द लैप्स ऑफ 2 months from the date of supply.
एग्जैक्टली।
So it is saying that you have received the payment for a lapse of 2 months. So this 2 months doesn't start after the end of 1 month. And they've specifically mentioned here from the date of supply. मतलब supply के date से 2 months है. So 1 month is credit fee period and the
1
second month
मंथ इज
will
इंटरेस्ट,
charge.
तो इंटरेस्ट
Yes,
1 मंथ का लगा है।
correct. 1 month का ही लगेगा.
गॉट इट, गॉट इट।
Hardik, in the case of exemption, we read that mobile phone example in which EMI facility was given, then interest charges will be exempted. Correct. See, that is a financial facility. But here in the supply, if any interest is for late charges, for late payment, that we have read that it will be included. So in this case, it is not a financing facility. It is a facility of making the payment and you have made delayed payment. That's why the full clause says interest, late fees or penalty for delayed payment has to be. Somebody, yeah, Riddhi was asking, please explain chart in book page number 7.4. Okay. Consideration. Yeah, this we have seen this already in the earlier chapter also, but okay, let us explain this. Payment means consideration, specifically means payment in money or otherwise for the supply, right? What is consideration? Consideration is the money for if you buy something, you pay to the seller something. That is consideration, correct? Basic understanding what we have that remains here with some inclusions and exclusions. But our basic understanding of consideration is what? Consideration means it is a payment which I have to make for buying something. Now that person sells me something, I can pay him in money. That is first part, which is payment in money. Second is monetary value of any act or forbearance for the supply. So consideration can be in money and it can be in non-money terms also. You can give him something which he is satisfied, called as consideration. That's why you see in barter transaction also is covered under supply. Exchange is also covered under supply. So in the case of barter and exchange, there will not be any exchange of money. There will be exchange of monetary value of some act, which could be that you are doing some service to him or you are providing some other goods to him. So consideration includes payment in money and it also includes monetary value, which is paid by whom? It can be paid by the recipient or any other person. So it is not always necessary that recipient only has to pay. It could be any other person also. So recipient or anybody else. And one important aspect which I left is monetary value of any act or forbearance for the supply, which means you are doing something is one act, you are not doing something also is one act. Okay, like a employee who is resigning, you are telling him that I will pay you consideration so that next 1 year you should not join somewhere in a similar business. So you are, there is a forbearance for which you are giving him a consideration. So that is also consideration. Telling him to do something is a consideration. Telling other party not to do something is also consideration. So that is called forbearance. So this is basic. Consideration is any payment in money or otherwise for the supply or monetary value of any act or forbearance for the supply by the recipient or any other person. And deposit is to be considered as a payment. When will deposit be considered as a payment? Only when the supplier applies such deposit as consideration for the supply. When the supplier is applying such deposit as a consideration, only then deposit will be consideration. Otherwise, deposit will be deposit, not a consideration. And it excludes subsidy given by the central or the state government. So when the subsidy is given by anybody who is not a government, then that subsidy is taxable. But if that subsidy is coming from the central government or state government, then it is not taxable. Then it is not a consideration. Non-compete fees of professional, yes, that is also example of forbearance. Clear, Riddhi? Subsidy other than government is taxable? Yes. Any subsidy which you are receiving from anybody other than the central government and state government is taxable. You will include that in the value of consideration. Okay. If our doubts are clear, we can now move on to further topics under value of supply. Okay. So what we did last time to understand people who didn't attend value of supply from beginning. Sure, Preeti, I will discuss on how to write for the exams at the end of the session. Please remind me again. Okay. So we were discussing on value of supply. We have completed time of supply. We are now getting into value. What is the value for any supply? This basic meaning of agent and consideration and value definition of money and what is a related party we have understood. Now money can be any form of this money. It could be a check, cash, foreign exchange, everything is money. Then what is a related party? There are 7 plus 1, 8 forms of related party. This you will have to understand. Then when we come to the value of supply says that go to the two conditions, that if you are supplying some goods to somebody and that other person is a third party who is not related to you, and second condition, first condition is a third party not related to you, and second condition is that he is not related as a first, and second is only the price is the sole consideration. When the price is the only consideration, nothing else is involved, then transaction value has to be considered. Now some transactions, once we consider transaction value, there could be some slips. That's why section 15.2 says that whatever is slips, add it. What are those things to be added? Any duties or taxes what you charge other than the GST. Second is any payment which you incur, which is incurred by the recipient, for which supplier has to pay, because you will pay trace that much of lesser value to the supplier. So not to influence the price, any obligation of the supplier which is met by the recipient has to be included. Then any incidental expenses which is charged by the supplier. Then any interest, late fees, penalty on delayed consideration has to be added, and any price link subsidy other than those given by the government. So this is what are the 5 things we have to add. Then we have understood these in detail. Now we'll go to 15C, which is what are the deductions to be made. Give me some examples of 15.2B. Okay, 15.2B is payment which is incurred by the recipient for which supplier is liable to pay. I think you were absent in the previous class, Riddhi. We gave this example of when I am doing a construction service, the recipient, the buyer may say that I will buy the cement or I will buy the tiles which you will lay it for my building. You don't charge me for that. Okay. Now, any of that thing which the buyer is buying on behalf of the supplier, that is an example where payment is incurred by the recipient for which supplier is liable to pay. Such value has to get added because ultimately that is part of the supply transactions. So if he will definitely reduce the price to that extent, but that has to be added again to the extent of it is my obligation to construct and give the building. Cement, of course, is part of it. Now, if that cement payment is made by the buyer directly, which I'm using it for the service, that has to be included in the value and charged to the customer. So that is the example of 15.2B transaction when payment is incurred by the recipient for which supplier is liable to pay. Then what is transaction value? This we again re-emphasized. Then we had all these adjustments. Yes, क्या inclusion करना है? Like there are some circulars which are giving clarification. So will TCS be added? No, TCS will not be included because TCS is like an interim levy, not having the characteristics. So if I buy myself and give it to the supply, that means at the point when I am buying, I am already paid GST. Fine, Shruti, every transaction it will be like this, right? That you buy something on which supplier will charge you GST, correct? So you cannot say that it's a type of a double taxation that you are buying, you're paying tax, but ultimately tax is on a supply transaction. If the Vendor himself would have bought it, he would have claimed the credit. Now you have bought and given it to him, you may not claim the credit. So you will have to check in every transaction whether you will actually do it. For theoretical reasons, I've told the example of cement, but nobody will do it because cement ke upar input tax is huge of 28%. So if you buy it as a customer and give it to the seller, you will lose that 28% credit also. So it will be always better that the supplier buys it. But if the supplier buys and you have made the payment, and you will tell the supplier, see, you have bought the cement, but payment I am doing, so reduce it from the bill. So that becomes wrong, right? That's why 15(2)(b) says such cases you have to add it. What is the interim levy? Interim levy is basically that it is not a full tax. Okay. TCS, when you pay, it is just on a assumption basis that, okay, the government has decided that 1% will be the tax called as tax, but actual tax of that person will be decided when he files his income tax return, right? So that's why TCS is not a tax. It is only a interim levy. Matlab, just to keep control of things, some mechanism is being derived, but TCS is not a tax. Second scenario is any amount that the supplier is liable to pay in relation to such supply, 15(2)(b), which we have discussed in detail. Third scenario is any incidental expenses, including commission and packaging. So when you sell a television and you charge installation, right? That installation charges has to be treated as part of the value because they are relevant. If you are charging something, generally for installation, you will not charge. But if there is some kind of a heavy machinery, specialized machinery for which you have to charge some installation charges, in that scenario also, any incidental charges which you charge has to be added to the transaction value. What are the other examples of incidental charges? Any freight handling charges, any inspection or certification charges, any installation and testing charges, for weighment or giving for uh, you, the customer wants to know whether what is the weight you have loaded on the truck at the time of dispatch is correct or no. You have to do loading, so any loading charges, and some special designing you may have to do for a customer if it is customized product. So such designing charges also have to be included. That is 15(2)(c) when you add all of this incidental expenses. Then coming to 15(2)(d). This we have already discussed. What is IPL? Yes, we have discussed that when the time of supply was established and payment was to be made on a specified time, the customer doesn't make the payment on that time but delays it. In that case, any interest, late fees, or penalty has to be added. Subsidies linked directly to the price. Again, here subsidy, when we say subsidy is directly linked to the price of the product, which means if they are giving you a subsidy, the government is giving you a subsidy which is linked to the sale price of the product, only then it has to be reduced. If they are not giving you product or sale price linked subsidy, they're giving you a general subsidy, which is also called as blanket subsidy. Okay, so any blanket subsidy which is being given, that will not be included. Matlab, only government subsidies which is linked to the price you have to reduce, and other subsidies anyways will not be included because it is not linked to the price of the product. So subsidies given by any private organization also, you should not link it to the price. So blanket subsidies are not included, only subsidies directly related to the price of the goods are to be added. Then when such subsidy is given by the government, you will not add that also. Any example of blanket subsidy? Yes, Preeti. When you set up a factory, okay, at the time of setting up a factory, government encourages you, ठीक है, कि आप यहाँ पे factory open कीजिए. Since you have set up a factory over here, you have done your production, we will give you 20 lakh rupees as subsidy. मतलब ये general subsidy हो गया. Overall business grow करने के लिए, it is not linked only to reduce your price. So अगर price reduce करने के लिए नहीं दिया गया है, बस without any objective दे दिया गया overall business के लिए, उसे कहते हैं blanket subsidy, and that blanket subsidy is anyways not to be included. Yes, Abhishek Misra, right, like how we are discussed, delivery charges will be part of the value. MSME subsidy, yes, MSME subsidy also which we received is a part of a general subsidy. फाइन, सब्सिडी इंक्लूजन सब हमने समझ लिया. सब्सिडी गिवन बाय गवर्नमेंट टू reduce price will be added. Yes, subsidy given by government to reduce price will not be added because it is given by the government. But if that subsidy is given by a private party, Hardik, it will be added. So take an example. Let's take some numbers. I think when I take numbers, lot of questions also come up. Now, my product cost is say 1000 rupees. Now my general sale price, what I sell to any customer, 1250. Okay. Now this product is needed by some company. Now that company says I cannot pay so much. So they have got some subsidy from the private party. A private party is interested that, okay, this product has to be reached to a private company. They will tell that, okay, we'll give you a subsidy. So they gave me subsidy of rupees 500. They said, I will give you a subsidy of this. You sell this product at, see, your sale price is 1250. Now you are not negotiating, no problem. But you sell this at 750 rupees. The balance 500 rupees, I will give you a subsidy. Okay. Now this subsidy is given by whom? This subsidy is given by a, what did I say? Private company. Once this subsidy is given by a private company, now sale price is 750. So what will be our GST treatment? GST shall be levied on 1250. Correct. So my sale value is 750. I will treat the transaction value for this sale value is 750 plus 500, which is 1250 is my transaction value. Okay. Now take another example. Product cost is 1000 rupees. General sale price is 1250. Now this subsidy of 500 I am getting from the central government. If I get this subsidy from the central government and my sale price is 750, what will be the GST treatment here? Will this be same? Sanya is saying it will be same. Okay, most of the others are saying that it will be 750 itself. Government subsidy not added, correct. So government subsidy should not be added. So it will not be 1715, 1215. Then it will be, my sale price is 750. And will I add that subsidy received? No, I will not add, because it is a subsidy given by the central government. So my transaction value will be 1259. It will be 750 itself. This 500 will not be taxable because this is coming from the government. Okay, first scenario understood, second scenario. Now let's go to the third scenario. Product cost is 1000. My general sale price is 1250. Subsidy, I am getting 50,000 rupees from the central government. And this subsidy is just 50,000 rupees. Now I am selling at 1200. Now what will be the GST treatment? Okay, some people are agreeing and some are not. Some are saying that it should be 1250. Oh God. Any subsidy government will not be part of it. No, no, not any subsidy. It is price linked subsidy. So this is not a price linked subsidy. So it is not impacting. But because of such subsidy, my costing is reduced. So my sale price also is definitely getting reduced. So a product which I'm selling at 1250, now it is being sold at 1200. So GST treatment will be transaction value is rupees 1200 itself. The costing mechanism, Kasak, what you're saying will apply in costing, not over here. Correct. Price is getting reduced. It is still not a price link subsidy. When the subsidy is given in a manner that the sale price I am reducing here. Here I am not reducing because it is a price link subsidy. Because I have decided my costing and I am making a reduced sale price. So this is not a price link subsidy as such. Sir, in case subsidy is given after purchase by the government to the consumer, in that case, the whole amount is considered for calculation. Yes, yes. If the subsidy goes directly to the customer, then normal transaction will happen. Your normal sale price will be considered. Okay. Clear till here in terms of subsidy. Okay. Now coming to the exclusions. So what all things has to be excluded in a supply transactions? Discounts. Okay. Any discounts before which is given before or at the time of supply. At the time of supply itself, you decide that you will give a discount. So any discounts which is given before the time of supply or at the time of supply, if such discount has been duly recorded in the invoice issued. Okay. So any invoice which is given at the time of supply and the condition is such discount has to be recorded in the invoice. So if you don't record it in the invoice, then you will pay full GST and discount given afterwards. There you can't do anything because any discount which is given at the time of supply should be recorded in the invoice itself. So such discount should be duly recorded in the invoice issued in respect of such supply. Now this discount could be what? It could be discount for spot payment saying that you cash and carry, I will give you 2% discount. That is a example of discount. And discount or for the spot payment or discount for list price to the distributors. So when there are distributors, you may have to give a discount on the list price to the distributors. For the customers, the list price will apply. But when a distributor comes, he will buy a bulk quantity. You will give him a discount. So discounts given at the time of supply is allowed as a reduction from the transaction value. Now, discounts given after the supply. So I can give discount now at the time of supply if only in these two cases generally. But otherwise also, if you give any discount, if you're giving it at the time of supply, it is allowed. And it should be mentioned in the invoice. But if you give any discount after the supply, which means you have made a sale, after that you give a discount. How will you give that discount? You can give a discount through a document called as credit note. So such discount is given after the supply only if such discount is established in terms of an agreement. Like how pre-discount, the condition is very simple that it should be mentioned in the invoice. Post-discount, the conditions are different. A post-supply discount, the conditions are different. A post-supply discount condition says that such discount is established in terms of an agreement. Through an agreement, it should be established, saying that, okay, you had agreed to give a discount, which is such agreement should be entered into or before the time of supply. It should be entered before the time of such supply and specifically linked to the relevant invoices. And input tax credit is attributable to such discount is issued by the supplier and has been reversed by the recipient, which means a post-supply discount, I will give the benefit of it only if the two conditions are satisfied, that it is established in terms of an agreement, and second is such input tax credit is reversed by the recipient. Confused? I will clarify this with again numbers. So what is the provision saying? The provision is saying firstly that when you give discount, you can give discount. Discount at the time of supply, it should be shown in the invoice. At the time of supply or before the supply, it should be shown in the invoice. If it is shown in the invoice, then discount is not included in the value of supply. If discount is not shown in the invoice, then discount included in the value of supply. So I will raise a sale invoice. Sale invoice, say I am selling you a bottle, water bottle for 200 rupees. You're saying, no, I cannot buy for so much. Give me some discount. Okay, I will give you 10% discount. Discount of 20 rupees. Okay. Now you tell me what is the transaction value or what is called as taxable value. श्रुति कुमारी 189 कहाँ से आया? Since it is at the time of supply, so taxable value is 180. Okay. Now, so this is a first type of discount. Another case is my sale invoice I have raised for the bottle, a costly bottle, 300 rupees. Okay. And I am giving you a discount of 30 rupees, but I am not mentioning in the invoice. Okay. I am giving you a discount, but I am not mentioning in the invoice. When will somebody do like that? When they want to show a higher sale and they don't want to disclose it, then the taxable value will be 300 itself, because I'm not giving you a discount in the invoice. If I do not mention the discount in the invoice, I will tax the whole thing. So taxable value will be 300 rupees. Clear till now? This is fine. That is discount at the time of issuance of invoice. Now read this point. After the supply also you can give a discount, which is established in terms of an agreement that existed at the time of supply, which can be linked to the invoices, and proportionate ITC is reversed by the recipient. If all these three conditions are satisfied, then discount is not to be included. If any of this is not satisfied, then discount is not to be included. Take the example again. Sale invoice I have raised for the bottle, costly bottle now, 500. GST at 18%, 9 rupees. Okay. Total is 509, 90 rupees, sorry. GST is 90 rupees. Sir, the 300 bottle, Hardik, the answer was transaction value is 300 itself. Okay. Now, this is a transaction. Now, after the sale is completed, I want to give a discount, saying that, okay, this is one invoice, like that you have bought so many invoices, you have bought so many bottles from me, and I want to give you a discount. Suddenly, you go to a shop and shop says, I have to give you a discount of 200 rupees. Can he give the discount? He can give discount, he cannot give discount. See, when you are getting a surprise discount like this, he can give discount, but no benefit he will give. He will give discount, but no GST benefit we will get for this because he has to charge GST on 500 rupees. He cannot reduce this 200 rupees. He cannot give a credit note because when he sold this product, that time there was no agreement. The condition here is in terms of an agreement that existed at the time of supply. In this case, there was no such agreement. Later on, he realized that, okay, I have to do something, so I will give you a discount. So since there was no agreement, he can give discount. Yes, he can give discount, but GST benefit will he get? No, he will not get any GST benefit. So GST on 500 only he will charge. No GST benefit, which means he cannot raise credit note. Clear? Since it was not agreed at the time of supply, it cannot be given the benefit, so he cannot raise a credit note for this. So what will he do? From next time onwards, he'll be little careful and he will agree at the time of sale itself. So next time what did he do? He said, okay, sale invoices, you buy more costly products for 600 times, 600 rupees, same bottle. But what I will do is that if you buy 10 bottles from me, then I will give you a discount of 5%. And if you buy 20 bottles, I will give you a discount of 10%. So what you will do, you want the discount. So you cannot buy so much. You will tell, okay, boss, if I don't buy and if I get my friends to buy it, will you give the discount? Yes, he says that, okay, if you buy 10 bottles in a year, I will give discount of 5%. If you buy 20 bottles, I will give a discount of 10%. Okay. So this agreement for discount should be made before each transaction or just one agreement? Just one agreement is sufficient, not in terms of every transaction. 200 are not excluded, but 500 would be still chargeable. Correct. 500 would still be chargeable. 200 ka exclusion will not be there. Okay. Now, yes, conditions will be given, Preeti. All the details will be given. Otherwise, how will you understand? So if those details are given, only then there will be a clarity. Otherwise, if some information is not given, then you'll have to make your assumptions. But most of the cases, complete details will be given to you. So you give this discount. Now, when you sold the first bottle to the customer, here you're not giving discount because 10 bottles criteria is not met. So 600 rupees GST you will charge at 600 ka 18% is 108. Okay. This is the bottle and this is the GST. Now, Yes, per bottle. This is the per bottle price. Bottle per bottle price itself. So then you bought some more bottles and things like that. Like that, various invoices have been raised. Okay. So you bought some more bottles. You bought around 11 bottles more. You went with your friends and you bought it. For others also, you made them buy. Now, after you have bought all the bottles, you will go to the seller and see. You told me you'll give a discount, and within 1 year, I have sold one bottle I bought, and 11 I made my friends buy. So, total 12 bottles I bought. Okay. So, 11 plus 1, 12 bottles. Total bottles is 12. Now, you give me discount. How will you give this discount now? You tell. Value you are seeing, yes, 600 rupees into 12 is 7,200 on that 5%. Everybody, you are all CA students. You are only great, you are really great in maths, no doubt. But my question is not how much. My question is how will you give it this discount? How will you give the discount? Now, sale invoice, if you raise in the sale invoice, we will reduce it. But now there is no sale invoice. All sale invoice have been raised. Now you have to give him a discount. How will you give? Correct. You will raise a credit note. You give a discount will be given through a credit note. This credit note will sell 360 rupees and GST on that is how much? 360 into 18%, which is 64.8. This will be your credit note value and this will be the GST on the credit note. Now, what will you do with this GST? Add it. You will add it to your sale value. Reverse ITC. Why will you reverse your ITC? Financial credit note, Sai Kiran, in this case will not be given. It will be a normal GST credit note. When will we give a financial credit note? I will come to that later on. When GA credit is not admissible, then you will give a financial credit note. Here you will not give financial credit note. You will give a GST credit note, which is called as normal credit. Okay. No more guesses on this. So what I will do with this is what we will explain. So when I made a sale of 108 rupees, I will pay 108 rupees. Okay. I will pay this 108 rupees by disclosing it in my sale value in GSTR1 and I will disclose it in my GSTR3B. Correct? Till here you are clear that any sales which I'm making, I will disclose it. Now, when a credit note is raised, my sale value, I have to bring it down, correct? Because I am giving discount, which means that at the time of supply, had I given discount, say, how much is the discount? 5%. At the time of supply, I should have paid 570 rupees, which is 600 minus 30 rupees, 5% discount. I should have paid GST on 570 rupees, but I have paid it on 600 rupees. So now this 30 rupees extra what I have paid, I have to get the benefit, correct? So when I sold the bottle in say May 2024, that month's GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B, I will pay 108. For this discount, which is given in September 2024, I will reduce it from the sales for this month. So in September 2024, whatever sales I have, I will reduce it. So my impact will be, I will reduce, that's why I put a minus figure. I will put a amount called as reduction from the sale by rupees 64.8. So that is the impact of credit note, that the taxes what is payable in this month will get adjusted to the extent of the credit note. Because say in the month of September, you have sales on which GST is payable of 100 rupees. Okay, then you will reduce it from the sales and you will pay net GST in this month will be 64.8 minus 100, you will pay 35.2. So instead of paying 100, you will pay 35.2. The impact is the credit notes what you are issuing that has to get reduced. Clear till now? That how do the credit note impact the seller's transaction? So if sales GST payable is just 30, can the remaining 34 be reduced from the next month? Yes, it has to be reduced from the next month's GST itself. Okay. Now see the implication of this. When I raise the invoice, this is from the seller's perspective. Now from the buyer's perspective, this is gone. So I will have to do a new one now. We understood how do I report the credit note in my sales. Now to understand the implication, we'll see a seller transaction and a buyer transaction. Whatever I sell will be a credit to the buyer. So I have sold again a bottle, same example, 600 rupees. I have charged GST of how much was the GST on 600, which I said 600 into 18%, 108. So when I sell this, this is my output GST. Which then becomes a input for him, input of 600 rupees, and this will become ITC or input tax credit of 108. Correct? So he's taken full credit of this. He's taken full credit of this. Now he is satisfied all the conditions. I am giving a credit note. Credit note of For this product, let us say, of course, there are various other products. Let's say with this product, there is a credit note on the same bottle for rupees. How much? 5%, 30 rupees. Correct? 30 rupees is the credit note. And GST, what I will charge on this or indicate on this, which is 30 into 18%, which is 25 rupees 40 paisa. Now, the condition says that if you are making any supply, any discount after the supply, it should be terms of an agreement, which we understood. It should be linked to the invoice, saying that what is the credit note which is linked to the invoice. Proportionate ITC should be reversed by the input. Now, I said that in our previous discussion that from the 600, whatever is the sales for this month, I will reduce the credit note. Since I am reducing the credit note, which means I am paying less taxes to the government, but the buyer has taken the full credit. So isn't it wrong that buyer has taken full credit, but government has got less revenue because 500 minus 30 will be the impact for me. So net impact will be what? I will pay tax on what? On that final bottle of 600 minus 30, 570. And how much is the GST I will remit? I will remit ultimately GST of 108 minus 5.4. So 102.6 is what I'm remitting. But how much is the buyer getting? Buyer is getting full 108 rupees. Isn't that unfair that government is getting less money, but buyer is getting more credit? That's why the condition says that once you give a credit note, you can reduce it if the buyer shows a reversal that input tax credit. So buyer को क्या करना पड़ेगा? In his input tax credit, he will have to reverse the ITC. So he has to show input of minus 30 and GST of minus 5.40. So his credit also impact would be that his input is 600 minus 30, which is 570, and ITC also will be to the extent of 108 minus 4.0, which is 102.6. He should also get only that much credit which I have paid. Understood? So I will charge GST. He will claim the input tax credit on that. I will reduce it through a credit note. He should reverse it. Only then that credit is permissible. Yes, Kasak, government has already paid GST of 108. Now 500 rupees, 5.40, he will not pay, no? He will get it back. How? Not from the government as a refund. Whatever credit notes month sale he is doing, okay, in that month he will have some liability. From that he will reduce. Here, buyer has to reverse and pay the ITC. Yes, buyer will have to reverse and pay the ITC. करेक्ट, जब उसको क्रेडिट नोट मिला है तब उसको रिवर्स करना है। क्लियर है? ठीक है, so we'll take a break here around 3:45, around 3:45. We'll catch up at 3:55. So we were discussing on the seller's sale price and the buyer's input tax credit, how much input tax credit he's taken. If you want to give a credit note, he should reverse to that extent. Okay. Kasak, I'm trying to unmute you. Can you click on unmute or type your question? Here, the seller claim by credit note, the buyer will use the same note. Not clear? The seller is not yes, seller is claiming the tax from his output tax through a credit note, and the buyer will use the same credit note because he's issuing. If he's issuing, he will have one copy with him. Basis this copy, he will reduce his output, and the basis this credit note, the buyer will reverse the input tax credit. Okay? One credit note is there with two parties because you will issue the invoice and you will give it to the buyer. Similarly, you will keep one copy with you. In the same fashion, credit note also, you will raise a credit note, keep one copy with you, and give one copy to the customer. Correct? So when you give to the customer, it is the same credit note number which is running. So you can reduce your sale through this credit note, and on the same credit note, ITC has to be reversed by the customer. Next time when the buyer pays the GST next month, when the buyer pays the GST, the month which you give the credit note, that month itself he will add it. So when we go to ITC, we will understand this. So he has to pay or he has to reduce his ITC. So the credit note provision says that it has to get reduced. So उसका जो input tax credit का claim है, he will reduce to the extent of this 5.40. If he does not have any other credit, then what you're saying is right, he has to pay it. But the disclosure should come correctly. That's why he will show it under reversal of credit note itself. आगे बढ़ते हैं कि what happens in terms of discount we have understood. Next, there are certain types of discounts which we understood, right? In the chapter of supply itself, we had discussed this, saying that what are the discounts which is permitted. So for which type of discount you will give a normal credit note because the person can reverse it, and there can be other credit note which the person cannot reverse it. What are they? First is staggered discount, which means the rate of discount increases with increase in purchase volume, like how we had discussed in the case of a bottle. More the bottle you purchase, more discount you will get. So that's a staggered discount example. Such discounts are excluded to determine the value of supply, which means from the sale value, you can reduce the extent of the value of discount. Okay. That is a staggered discount. Second is year-end or volume discount, which is offered by the suppliers to their stockists. This is also a kind of a discount saying that you don't have to buy more. Whatever you buy, you are a stockist. So whatever you buy, I will give you a year-end discount. In this case, the discount is passed by the supplier through credit notes. Such discounts are also excluded to determine the value of supply, but it should satisfy the 15(3) conditions. So staggered discount and year-end discount both satisfy the conditions that it is agreed at the time of supply. So these discounts satisfy the conditions. So we will raise a credit note for the reversal of input tax credit by the receiver, and reduction in sale price by the supplier. Third kind of discount is a secondary discount. In secondary discount, what happens? Discount is not known at the time of supply. When such discounts are not known at the time of supply, so it doesn't satisfy the condition. So you will not get benefit for this. So it could be that discounts are not known at the time of supply, or these discount is offered after the supply is already over. After the supply is already over, then if you want to give discount, you cannot give it because you had not agreed at the time of supply and neither you have mentioned in the invoice. So such discounts are secondary discounts. They shall not be excluded while determining the value of supply. In case of staggered discount, year-end discounts, my sale value is getting reduced through a credit note. In this secondary discount, since it does not satisfy the conditions of the discount, it will not be excluded from the value, but you have to pass on the benefit to him. So you will not give a normal discount. You will give a special instrument called as commercial credit note. Okay, so in such scenario, you will give a commercial credit note. Got it till now? What Sai Kiran also was asking, what is the commercial credit note? Sir, in only in case of secondary discount, you will give a commercial credit note. Meaning of secondary credit note. So Hardik, what happens in a commercial credit note is you will collect less amount from the customer, but GST you will pay on the full value. Commercial credit note means it's not a GST credit note. For your books of accounts and for your transaction in money, there you will reduce the value, but GST benefit you will not get because GST credit note you have to satisfy those conditions, but for accounting you don't have to satisfy those conditions. Accounting standard says you can give credit note anytime, right? You can give discount to the customer anytime. So in such scenario, you will have to give a commercial credit note. Uh, correct, Sir Hardik. So it is a kind of reduction in value in your profit and loss account. Correct. So that's way one good thing you have brought down is what is the value in the P&L. That is not the value for GST. One such instance is this, that you can give a credit note reduced from the sale price for your financial purposes, but for GST purposes, you will not reduce it. So it could be both the ways also. That's the reason you will learn in your financials, in your finals, or even after that, that the value in your financials and the value in your GST returns is not that both will match, both will have various reasons for mismatch. Okay. Because you will follow accrual principles, you will follow prudence principles. You may not raise an invoice, but still you will show it as a revenue. So there could be so many instances wherein your value in the financials will be different from the value what you mention in your GST returns. Yes, we have to do a RICO and keep it ready because when the officer investigates it, he will take the value as per books of accounts. He'll take the value as per GST return. He'll see there is a difference and issue a notice to you. So you have to be prepared with the reconciliation. स्टॉकिस्ट मींस जो आपके स्टॉक्स रखता है और फिर डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करता है उसे कहते हैं स्टॉकिस्ट. Okay, another related, any other doubts? Understood, Manvi? Okay. Now, in the same aspect of discount, there was another aspect saying that the department, how did this background come? Let's go to the background, then come to the foreground. You buy a insurance. On that insurance, you will get a discount when you have an insurance policy for a year, and in the second year when you go for renewal. Okay, in the time of renewal, they will see that last year also you were a customer with us, and this year also you're a customer. You did not go to any other insurance company, so we'll give you, and you have not made any claim, so we'll give you a no claim bonus. So this no claim bonus is like a discount because from the sale value, we are reducing. Say if the insurance policy for your vehicle last year was 2000 rupees, this year you have come for a renewal, we will charge 2000 rupees, then give a deduction called as no claim bonus of 100 rupees. So since this no claim bonus was relevant, and on the insurance, what is paid, even on the insurance, GST is paid because insurance is also a service. So the officer said that they saw various insurance claims, insurance policies, and they were saying this item of discount, which is appearing. Now they said, on this discount, are you paying GST or no? They said no, because we are collecting from the customer 2000 rupees minus 100. So we are paying on only 1900. So then the officers asked, are you satisfying the conditions of discount in this case or no? So that's when the matter went to the lot of different GST officers were doing this. So everyone had a query, and the insurance companies raised a question to the Central Board of Indirect Tax and Customs, saying that, see, your GST officers are troubling us with this. So you give a clarification. That's when the government issues circulars. And these circulars are binding on the department officers, saying that you have to follow this circular. So they gave this clarification. What is this clarification? They said, what is the nature of no claims bonus? Is it a supply by the insured to the insurance company? Okay. Is it a supply given by the customer to the insurance company? So then they clarified point by point, saying that no claim bonus of year one is deducted from the insurance payment to be made in year two. Correct? So the no claim bonus is for, because you were an insurance holder in first year, you're getting it. So if you change your company, now you were insurance holder with Oriental Insurance, now you have come to New India Insurance. So first year, since you have come from there to here, will I give you no claim bonus? I will not give you. In the first year, normal premium I'll collect. If you continue with me in the second year, then I will give you a no claim bonus. So no claim bonus of year one is deducted from the insurance payment to be made in year two. Will no claim bonus be considered as a deduction from the premium value? That was the question. The answer they gave was, the insurance company make the disclosure of the fact of availability of discount in the form of no claim bonus, subject to certain conditions, saying that when the insurance is taken, there are some policy documents which is signed. There itself will be mentioned that if you do not claim any claim in the first year, then you will get a no claim bonus, is what is mentioned in the insurance policy itself, to the insurance in the insurance policy document itself, and also provide the details of no claim bonus, saying that how much will be the no claim bonus. It is therefore clarified that no claim bonus is a permissible deduction because it satisfies the condition of 15(3)(a), saying that it should be mentioned in the uh, agreement. It should be mentioned through an agreement before the supply. So before the insurance policy is taken, insurance coverage is taken, policy is signed. So the condition of agreement is satisfied. And the second condition is that other person has to reverse the credit. Now, if he is an unregistered person, generally when you use your vehicles for your personal use, you are using it for your personal use, you are not claiming the credit. So there's no question of reversal of credit. So when there is no question of reversal of credit, don't ask me to reverse it. That's fine. And if I am a corporate, so I will reverse the credit if I've taken it, no problem. So then they said that it is therefore clarified that no claim bonus is a permissible deduction under 15(3)(a) for the purpose of calculation of value of supply of the insurance services. So GST shall be levied on actual insurance premium payable after deduction of the no claim bonus. So no claim bonus is a genuine deduction, so such deduction has to be reduced is what was clarified. Any questions on this? Okay. Then let's go to the, there's a question. Sir, we know it is not a supply, but if on no claim bonus GST is charged, it would be a benefit to insurance company. Only then why they raised it? No, it will not a benefit, no, because if they would say what they will charge GST on, if 2000 rupees is the insurance premium which you have to pay, they will deduct 100 rupees as no claim bonus and they will pay GST on 1900. So that is the thing which they have been following up. Now, if you say that no claim bonus should be charged, then they should have paid GST on 2000 rupees, correct? Which means that they have not paid GST on 100 rupees. When the officer comes and asks them through a scrutiny of the returns when they do adjudication, then they will take on the 100 rupees pay the GST, which they have not yet collected from the customer. They will have to pay it from their own pocket and incur loss. So it is not a beneficial part, right? So the deduction gives a clarification that yes, tomorrow when the adjudication happens, we can give this circular to the officer and say that boss, you know or you don't know, you have raised a skepticism. This skepticism is cleared by the Central Board of Indirect Tax and Customs, and you have to follow it. Please see this circular. So the reason when the circulars are given is you have a better position. You can tell to them saying that I have followed the thing correctly, and this has been clarified by the CBIC as well. Okay. Now, when transaction value we have discussed additions and deletions 15.2, 15.3. Now 15.4 says that where the value of supply of the goods or services or both cannot be determined under subsection 1, then the same shall be determined in such manner as may be prescribed. Okay. When the value cannot be determined under 15.1, then we will go to 15.4, and 15.4 says that the value shall be determined in such manner. Now, what is that such manner? That such manner is valuation rules. So there are a set of valuation rules which is given, and we will have to go through those valuation rules if we are not satisfying the 15.1 conditions. What are the 15.1 conditions? 15.1 conditions are saying that if you are when you make a supply and those two controlled conditions are not satisfied, which means what are those two conditions? Sole consideration, yes, that is one consideration. What is the other condition? It is a unrelated party. So it should be to a unrelated party, and price should be the sole consideration. If these two controlled conditions, if you are satisfying, then fine. If any one of them also you're not satisfying, then you have to go follow 15.4 and go to valuation rules. Okay, so we are preparing for valuation rules. After this, we'll start the valuation rules. Then second condition, when supply is covered under 15.1, but the transaction is between related parties. Okay, if the price is a sole consideration, but still if it is with related party, then you will not go to 15.1 case. And third scenario is supply is covered under 15.1, but those mandatory adjustments, that is 15.2a additions and 15.3b deductions, if those deductions you're not making, then also you have to go to valuation rules. Okay, so understood the importance of why we should study the valuation rules, because if 15.1 fails, then 15.4 is coming to its rescue, saying that if you have failed, don't worry, I will rescue you. The parties or the taxpayers cannot say that they don't know the value, so they will not pay the tax. They will have to pay the tax. We will tax them. That's why 15.4 is coming and saying that, okay, if you are not satisfying 15.1 conditions, I will take you to valuation rules. In the valuation rules, I will tell you what is the valuation. So 15.4 says that. Then 15.5 comes and says that notwithstanding anything contained in 15.1 in subsection 1 or 4, the value of such supplies which may be notified by the government on the recommendation of the council will be determined in such manner as may be prescribed. So, transaction value we have understood, then valuation rules also we have understood, but there could be special circumstances when the value will not be under valuation rules, the value will not be under valuation transaction value, neither will be under valuation rules. It will be specified by the government in special circumstances. Okay, like tobacco machineries. When a tobacco machinery is being produced, there they will tell that we will give a separate valuation rules, saying that per machinery, how much is the capacity, you have to pay the GST and not on the sale value. So that is an example of 15.5. Okay, so ready for 15.4 valuation rules? Come on, I'm not seeing that excitement. You're not ready with the valuation rules. Good. So we will go to the valuation rules, but the good news is you don't have to go in now. You have to go after a year or two, because valuation rules are not part of your inter syllabus. Valuation rules are part of your final syllabus. So you have to go to the valuation rules after you clear your inter. Okay. So valuation rules are not there for you, luckily, right? You will just need to read the requirements of the value of supply 15.1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's it for your exams. Okay. So now let's take some MCQ in this chapter. Then we'll move on to the input tax credit if time permits today. We have some MCQs. If the time permits, we will take it today, else do it tomorrow. If the complete the MCQs, then we'll start with the input tax credit chapter itself. Okay. First one. Did we discuss this? I think we've not. Miss Gomati is a trader who supplied watches to Mr. Deepak for a price of 1,000 rupees each. Wholesale price of the watch is 1,500. Retail price of the watch sold by Gomati in the ordinary course of business is 2,000. Miss Gomati and Mr. Deepak are unrelated. What is the value of supply? Very interesting answers. Rupees 2000 as discount is not mentioned in the invoice. Okay. 2000 rupees. Okay. We had discussed this, right? That I can sell to different customers at different price. Is it necessary that I should sell at one price itself? I can sell, right? Why no, Sanya? Why can't I sell to different customers at different price? He can sell, right? I can sell at any price until unless he is unrelated party. Very true. So I can sell at any price. Now, in this case, it is sold at a price of 1000 rupees. That is the price which is decided. There is no discount as such. Okay. Generally, I sell 2000 rupees, but to this customer, I have sold at 1000 for whatever reasons. So, since I have sold at 1000, that is the transaction value. They have clearly said it is unrelated person, and they have not said price is not the sole consideration. So, our assumption will be price is the sole consideration, unless it is an objective type we can give lot of explanation. When it is a detailed question, then we will give it. But if it's an objective type, then it is always assumed that things which have not given is assumed that it is considered. So when in this case, it will always be considered that price is the sole consideration and the value will be 1000 itself. So correct answer is 1000. Yeah. Question number 2. Yeah. This is a example of staggered discount. So answer is C. Staggered does not affect like Diwali discount. It does affect, no? No necessary that Diwali discount or any seasonal discount is only a term. But ultimately, what type of discount is it is what we have to decide, Aditi. See, this example is different than what was mentioned in the question number 8, right? So here, the payment is made after the expiry of 1 month. Okay. So payment doesn't mean that it is made in the 1 month duration. They're made after the expiry of 1 month. So interest will be charged and the price will be 2,02,000. Unless in that question it was mentioned that the payment itself was made 2 months from the date of supply. So English, how they use is very important. There they say that payment is made 2 months from the date of supply. In this case, it is payment is made after the expiry of 1 month credit, right? So it will be interest chargeable at 1%. Don't equate that question to this. That language was different. This language is different. Answer is 1 lakh because it is not mentioned in the invoice. So transaction value is what is the value mentioned in the invoice. Mr. A is a trader of school bags. Yeah, this is an interesting question. right? Everyone have given their answer. It is B itself. Yes. Subsidy given by any person and other than central government or state government shall be added to the value of supply. Therefore, the value of supply is 300 rupees per bag. Lot of confusion between C and D. Answer is C, right? Because both A and B is correct answer. Answer is C, not D. This is confusing. In which circumstances 15, 4, and 5 read with chapter 4, which is determination of value of supply, apply? Will it apply in case of supply made to non-price transaction? Yes, definitely it will apply, because if there is a sale made without consideration, then also you have to determine the value. When supply is made for part price consideration and part non-price consideration, which means price is not there, but you have to determine the value, and supply which is made to related parties. So all the three are applicable. So it is all of the above. In all the cases, you have to go to valuation rules because you're not able to determine the price. Now, there are a lot of questions in question number 6. Now, value of supply shall not include any discount which is given before the time of supply if such discount has already been recorded in the invoice which is issued in respect of such supply. Value of supply shall not include any discount. Okay. And shall not include any discount, which means that it should not include the discount. So the question is little tricky, right? I consider that. So the question, when it says value of supply shall not include any discount, which means that you will not reduce the discount, then the correct answer is none of the above, not this. I stand corrected because the question, what I thought was something else, and here it is something else. Value of supply shall not include any discount. which is given before the time of supply. So before the time of supply, these are the discounts which has to be considered. The question is in a tricky manner. That's why the answer is B.
Sir,
Yes, Hardik.
sir, according to me, sir, C is the correct only, sir, because it is written value of supply shall not include, sir. Shall not means जो चीज value of supply में नहीं आएगी. तो सर ये दोनों चीजें नहीं आ रही है ना value of supply में, तो सर सही तो है.
And a value of supply shall not include any discount. So value of supply will not consider these discounts is what is the meaning which we derive from this.
Yes, sir. तो हम माइनस ही तो करते हैं सर डिस्काउंट को.
करेक्ट. तो इस केस में क्या बोल रहे हैं, वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई में हम इस डिस्काउंट को शल नॉट इंक्लूड एनी डिस्काउंट, मतलब वी विल okay, it's a little tricky. I have only framed this. I think hopefully CA Institute doesn't frame such tricky questions. Value of supply shall not include any discount, which means it will not consider which discount.
यस सर, दोनों नहीं करेगा ना वो कंसीडर. जो इनवॉइस में रिकॉर्डेड है तो हम माइनस ही तो करेंगे वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई में से.
वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई में डिस्काउंट रिड्यूस करेंगे ना, नॉट ट्रांजैक्शन वैल्यू. When it says value of supply, I am supplying it at X value. In that, what shall not include the discount? So will I not include these discounts from my value is the question.
सर जीएसटी जीएसटी जो हम फाइनली लिबाई करेंगे वो
Hmm.
आफ्टर डिस्काउंट होगा.
Hmm.
तो सर यही तो चीज वो पूछ रहा है कि सर वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई शैल नॉट इंक्लूड एनी which is given before the time of supply at the time of supply which is duly recorded in invoice. अगर सर वो इनवॉइस में रिकॉर्डेड है तो हम उसको एक्सक्लूड करेंगे और उसके बाद जीएसटी पे करेंगे.
Okay. Let me think over this, or I'll just see अगर previous question papers में अगर ये आया है तो उसमें देख के I'll just come back on this. So this will keep it on hold.
ओके.
Question number 8. A lot of confusion. Some are saying B, some are saying C. It is B. A third person who controls or holds more than 25% voting shares is B. 8B. नाइन्थ वन डी, नहीं, वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई इंक्लूड्स subsidiary directly linked to the price. Subsidy provided by the central government is not included. Blanket subsidy is not included. Subsidies directly linked to the price, which is not given by the government, is included. Okay, so it is B, not B and C both, not A and C both also. It is B itself. Subsidies which is directly linked to the price has to be included in the value of supply. Value of supply is the transaction value when a transaction of supply of goods or services is made between whom and whom. Discount by government nahi, subsidy linked to the price is only reduced. अभिषेक हमने ब्लैंकेट सब्सिडी ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन कर दिया था. व्हेन दैट इज नॉट अ सब्सिडी गिवन टू द प्राइस ऑफ अ प्रोडक्ट, दैट इज अ ब्लैंकेट सब्सिडी. Then answer is C. Value of supply is the transaction value when the supply of goods or services is made between unrelated party and price is the sole consideration. That is C. नितिन, 8th वाले क्वेश्चन में क्या क्वेश्चन डाउट है? पर्सन इंक्लूडिंग लीगल पर्सन, दे आर डीम्ड एज रिलेटेड पार्टीज इफ द थर्ड पर्सन, क्योंकि हमने रिलेटेड पार्टी का डेफिनेशन देखा है, उसमें इफ अ थर्ड पर्सन कंट्रोल्स मोर देन 25% वोटिंग स्टॉक और वोटिंग शेयर्स ऑफ बोथ ऑफ देम, मतलब एक बंदा जो है दोनों के 25% यहाँ पे 25% यहाँ पे कंट्रोल करता है, तो फिर वो सब रिलेटेड पार्टी बन जाएंगे. 9th question. 9th question is value of price includes subsidy directly linked to the price, which means you will not give a deduction. So 15(3) में नहीं आता है, so we will add it. That's why you are adding it here. क्योंकि ये दोनों तो डिडक्शन मिल जाएगा, इसको ऐड करना है, तो you will add it. Discounts are excluded from value when it is given when. Question number 11, all of the above, correct. Last question for the day, question number 12. भावना एफ कहाँ से आया? Correct. 12A and 12B. So this is a tricky question. You have two answers for this. Which of the following discount offered by the supplier has allowed as a reduction? So this is only to relax your mind. Don't get very serious with these MCQs. If conditions are satisfied, because they have not said anything in your actual MCQs also, you'll have such questions wherein you may feel that the question is not complete. Can you do anything about it? You have to be a little careful and answer it. In this case, the answer is both A and B. You have two answers for this question. The following discounts which are offered by the suppliers are allowed in case of staggered discount and periodic discount. Secondary discount definitely not there, and discounts given through commercial credit note also not available. Okay. Question number 13. So we have two more questions for you. For the purpose of determination of value, PCS under the provisions is included or not included? Included, not included. TCS is not to be included. हमने clarification देखा है ना? So it is not included. Fourteenth one. Yes, yes, Hardik. You will have only one option. In this, just to make it little tricky, I have given two options. You will not have two options for your exams. Just for to relax your brain, I have given two options. But in your exams, you will have only one option. E. 14 answer not getting correctly. In which of the following circumstances outward freight and transit insurance will not be included? Guys, simple. when you're charging freight and transit insurance, it will not be included when it is not your responsibility. So where the contract for supply is on ex factory basis and the buyer pays for the freight and insurance, there you will not include it. If you have agreed in the first instance, like example A, then you will include it. The question is will not be included. Okay. So each word in the MCQ is important. Will include, will not include can make a lot of a difference. Now, finally, the last question. Right? Everybody has given their answer. 15. No, B. It is D. Both A and B has to be satisfied, right? Discount should be agreed and ITC has to be reversed by the recipient. Only in such case, post-supply discount is permissible. So answer is D. Okay. In terms of question number 6, now I get that clarity that value of supply shall not include any discount which is given before the supply and at the time of supply when it satisfies the condition. So answer is correct C itself, because like how in question number line we have seen that value of supply, which is value, taxable value will not include the following discounts, which is the following. Value of discount shall not include discount which is given before the time of supply and at the time of supply also, if it is recorded in the invoice. So answer is both A and B. Okay, answer is C itself. Okay, Preeti, we are short of time. So in the next class, when we have ITC, before ITC, we will discuss this. Any questions? I think I have a lot of questions I'm getting in this chapter now, but running late of time. Whatever are your questions, you can please ask it in the next class. We will discuss and then take the question of ITC. For ITC, we have 5 days. So enough time to take up your questions and then we can take it up. Liquidated damage notification, yes, I will share that. Okay, no claim bonus also will prepare some numbers, no claim bonus and liquidated damages. Yes, I will upload the notes as well.